Now we have come to another effective tip. Another tip for effective fathering. It is the matter of compassion and pity for our children. It is noteworthy that this again is a matter of where? Of his heart. It has to come from the heart. Fathering will be discolored if there is no compassionate understanding in the heart of the father as regards the frame, the weakness, and the short-sightedness of the children. A father must temper his very high expectation of his children with the knowledge of their frame and present capacities. Does that make a quick sense to you? The issue is that you have a very high expectation of your child. Am I right? Many times as a father, we forget the journey that we also took to become what we became. Is there any one of you here, when you were growing up, that did not play football? I want to hear. There's somebody here who did not. This football may not be the real football. It may be the fruit on the tree. It may be this orange. And you say, yeah, yes. And we are kicking. And you could be there for 5 hours. And your old mother, you remember. What does she do all the time? What is she doing? She was shouting your name. Say, come now, come now. You say, I'm coming, I'm coming. Or if it is Ayo. Do you remember Ayo? Or draft? These are big men now. They don't want to tell me what they did when they were young. Something makes you to feel that your child should not play football. So, those things that are natural for a child to be a child, you treat it as an offense. And the child is wondering, what have I done wrong? Are you with me? Your child is saying, but what have I done wrong? Some of them are even bold. They say, Daddy, is it wrong to play football? I'm hearing you say, look, I want you to be serious. I want you to be what? Serious. Let me ask you, were you serious at his age? I'm not hearing you. How many of you went into hunting expedition in those days when you were young? Let me see your hand up. But something tells you now that your child should never do that kind of thing because you are a Christian. So automatically you are saying, look, do you know that, I'm a preacher? And as a preacher, you are a preacher's son. Your boy is saying, and so what? Sometimes somebody asked a question yesterday that I said he's not qualified to ask because he's not a preacher. He's not a full-time pastor. Do you know the trouble full-time pastors' children face? is that the church never tolerates our children to be children. If 5 children were playing and they were doing like this, and this one hit this one, if any of them is a pastor's child, are you hearing me? When people come out and say, and you call yourself a pastor child, and you call yourself a pastor child, he didn't call himself a pastor's child. That boy is just a child. So the boy is confused. He says, so what does it mean? Can't I be a child like everybody else? So unconsciously, the minister's child is desiring quietly that I wish my father is not doing this kind of job. And that's the beginning of their rebellion against what their father stand for. Apart from the fact that the pastor's house is the mission house, everybody goes there and they expect that everybody is already a matured saint. So your child has no space to be a child. He is confronted with adult issues right from infanthood. And do you know that the boy is longing when he will be free to go and behave like a child? That's why when they escape, it's always very terrible if we don't take time. So the first thing we are dealing with in addressing that is that even though we have high expectation of what our children should be, we must temper that expectation with an understanding of their present capacity and their present frame. Naturally, a father's hand is strong with the cane. It is strong as if to break a wood. Would you like to confirm that? Eh? Do you know that if it's your wife that will beat a child, your wife will carry something like this when it's about to fall on the baby? How does your wife say? And as she's doing that, she's also crying. She's weeping for the baby. But when it is a father, the first thing is that you close your eyes. You see how many times when you are disciplining your child, I see your eyes closed. That closing of your eyes is very symbolical. Is that you have decided not to consider his frame. And there are times when you bring a heavy knock. You bring a heavy knock. So the first thing that you need to note in fathering children is that there must be compassion, there must be pity that is coming out of an understanding that is only being a child. If a father will remember the frames, the makeups, and the present capabilities of his children, he will be more compassionate in dealing with them.
This has been Living Seed. For further inquiry or counsel, contact Peace House, P.O. Box 971, Boko, Benue State, Nigeria. Telephone numbers 0703 0363659, 0703 7681198. Email address lsmedia@livingseed.org, or visit our website at www.livingseed.org. Make it a date with us next week.